Hello everybody, Isabella from Prytire here, this time as a disembodied voice, although you might see me in the mirror. Somewhere there. Oh, you can't see me in the mirror. But in front of you is Lucas in a very fetching deshabille. He's nightgown basically. We are looking at a dressing up of a gentleman in the late 1880s, 1890s to go on a seaside in a sort of sports suit, which features quite hugely on the side of the bed here. So, well, let's have a look. We are starting as usual with the underwear, but this time it's a nightgown, basic sort of cotton that will be washed pretty frequently. This is an antique one, so as you can see the sleeves are a little bit too short, but for sleeping it doesn't really matter. He already has his silk socks on, no sock suspenders, although I suppose I could make him some. That would be quite sexy. That's just wrong. But okay.
I love some of those.
Okay, there will be sock suspenders to be made at some point. And let's go for the trousers. That's actually... Oh, sorry, not trousers. Yeah, trousers. Let's go for the trousers to preserve his dignity. No, don't you? Right. So the whole outfit today is a sort of sports outfit, a seaside outfit. As close to a ditto suit as I could go. Ditto suit basically meant that all the components, waistcoat, jacket and trousers were of the same fabric. Here I didn't have enough of one fabric, so trousers are slightly different. You're flashing your underpants, Lucas. Turn around, please. So we have very, very similar cotton fabric instead, both stripes. I must say that tailoring is a new thing for me. I've been learning for the last couple of years from one of the Savile Row tailors. So that's a new departure. And that was the second pair of trousers I think I've made. So we'll see how it goes. Right, the nightgown goes off. Prepare for a flash of bare chest and flashing your undergarments as well.
Suck in the gut.
Absolutely, and get your shirt on.
Shirt.
So again, basic cotton shirt. If it was cooler, you possibly would go with a sort of nice jersey vest that started to appear at the same time, but at the moment not particularly needed, so just basic shirt. I say basic because it doesn't have any frills and that we associate with shirts in the earlier centuries or even earlier 19th century. So this was reasonably a basic style, very reminiscent of nowadays shirts apart from the weird collar.
Well, this has an integral collar rather than a studded collar. So yes, this is.
I've got several studded. Yes, I had a couple of studded collars back at home, yes. But they're all for very, very narrow necks.
Yes.
So
this works fine for me, and it's perfect for a sort of day wear. Nothing too formal.
Okay, and we have long cuffs either, so a little bit longer than usual. Or is it? Oh, I don't know that much about menswear. So are they similar to modern cuffs in modern shirts, or are they in a way different lookers?
Very much so. From my understanding, the cuffs, these particular cuffs would be described as a French cuff as they fold back over. They've got multiple points, but they do require cufflinks, which is splendid because cufflinks are a nice way to show a bit of bling for a gentleman, as opposed to simple buttons. And yes, cufflinks would still be the preferred way of closing cuffs.
Or rather already be, because before we had buttons really, with the frilly shirts.
Yeah, a moment.
Almost there. It's almost as much of a precision as button.
Almost, but you get more choice.
Okay. Brilliant, and obviously the trousers are mostly still on braces. The trousers here sport a grown-in waistband. It can be made separate, but it can be made grown-in. The fly closes with buttons and hooks and bars. So you have some buttons there. Well, you missed one button. Oh,
sorry, but
you missed one button.
I missed one button. Yes. Not for long.
Okay.
I missed a button.
You missed the button. And you have two pockets at the side seams. They could also have pockets at the back, but I chose not to make it. At the moment, I need to actually, come closer here, Lucas. I need to do your buckle at the back. A little bit closer, a little bit closer. There you go, we have it. Close. Right, we have a little anti-buckle that I need to tighten. And that gives you a nice close-up of the back of the trousers. A little bit tighter. Not too tight, so you can play sports, do some boating, sorry, not bowing, or frolicking at the seaside. There you go. A little bit tighter. Right, I suppose a tie or neckcloth of any sort of.
Well, you can neckcloth first and waistcoat, or waistcoat and neckcloth. It's a perennial issue for gents.
I think logically I would go for cravating. The braces here, as you can see, are really pretty example with leather and silk ribbon braces. These are by papillonaceous.co.uk. I think they're called Albert braces. I think that's what they sell them for. So really beautiful ribbon, hand woven in Devon, and I think it's one of the last places that still weave silk ribbons. So it's our main provider for all kind of ribbons, for bonnets, for gowns, for braces. Okay, I have a mirror behind you.
I do, but I want to show the camera. Once.
Is that vanity, I wonder?
Not quite like doing a tie. It's not like doing a Windsor. And there are probably dozens or hundreds of ways of tying a cravat. I sort of do a half a Windsor because I know I'm going to be using a tie pin afterwards. That gives me a knot I can play with. I know I'm going to be using a waistcoat as well, so it doesn't have to be too long.
It's not very even. Have a look at the mirror.
Okay, so don't worry about the lengths. The lengths aren't important. The important thing
is that silk scarf? Is it cotton?
This is a silk one.
This is a silk one, okay.
Quite an old silk one from many years ago. Yeah.
Tighter.
You can only go so tight with the collar like this, I'm afraid. Plus you need a little bit of fluff in the cravat itself. Excuse me one second. So just that.
Well, that's something that is beyond me. I wouldn't be able how to tie it. I'm okay with the earlier knots and Regency and 1830s, possibly 40s, but a little bit more modern attire is very much a new territory for me.
This just shows off a particular knot. As you can see here, I have a cravat pin which sticks in.
Yeah, that's very nice.
You see, just a bit of red to go with the colour of the striping on my suit, and green to contrast nicely. As I say, it doesn't have to go all the way down because I know I'm going to be wearing a waistcoat.
Right.
Which is the next thing.
Oh yes, the waistcoat is there. So I made the waistcoat and a jacket last year after the first session with of learning tailoring the proper way, or the proper way, sort of the modern way. The waistcoat was also part of it. So I can put it on, Lucas.
Oh, sure.
It's nice cotton fabric, striped, with a single layer of back very, very light linen, and also light linen. It has canvassing inside and 2 welt pockets. As you can see, possibly the stripe is slightly different, whereas the trousers are sort of more beigey. This is more sort of ivory and red, but hopefully wouldn't be too jarring.
You'd never know if you hadn't pointed it out.
Well, that's what happens when you buy fabrics at vintage stores as a bargains.
As you can see, the waistcoat covers the base of the cravat nicely, allowing you to pay a little bit of attention. And I gather a gentleman once dressed should not bother about his appearance after the fact. So that's it, that's me.
Do you still put the last button on the waistcoat open?
You do at this era because that idea, the idea of leaving a waistcoat button open, comes from the 20th century, early 20th century. It was George V, who was a rather rotund chap.
Ah. Can you turn back? Okay, back we have a usual waistcoat buckle, as opposed to earlier type of waistcoats when you have lacing or lacing strips. So buckles definitely made life a little bit easier for gentlemen. Could you come over here for a second?
I must say, the straps, look at that, they're matched up beautifully. Most impressive.
Just a stroke of luck. Back, please. There you go. So it has enough space here to move around and do some rowing, for example. Okay, it's enough. You can see your back now. The buttons here are, I think they are the vintage.
They are vintage.
Vintage ivory, I think, that we got. Right.
Super.
Little pockets for watches, I suppose,
Indeed.
and spare change.
Yes, let's put my pocket watch on as well. That's it. Just check the time. Needs adjusting and winding, but I'll have to do. Watch pocket. I usually go through one of these. Let's not do that.
Has it broken?
No, not at all.
Okay, just
Undid.
discombobulated.
Just undid slightly. Better. Minor, as wardrobe malfunctions go.
Right. So that would be very informal, where you could sit without your jacket for a picnic, for example. It was very hot. And obviously the fabric being cottons and linens are quite suitable for the summer, British summer, having said so, because they still involve quite a lot of tailoring and there's still padding and canvassing, especially in the jacket. So the jacket fronts have proper canvas inserted and pat stitched to the collars. There's some horsehair and some dumet for... You can't really see much from the inside, but it's there. So this kind of blazer was mostly used for summer pursuits near the water originally, boating, seaside, but later on also for other generic wandering, where you didn't really want to use wool. Yes, this one is a little bit heavier, so you could have a pallet hot that would be unlined and the front will be just faced. We have these ones for linen and they will be much more suitable in a hotter climate. For British summer, I think we are fine as it is, with a little bit of canvassing and lining inside. So that's almost a ditto suit. What we need is shoes, a boat and maybe some sunglasses.
Indeed.
Maybe shoes we should have done before.
Shoes we could have done before. Yeah, I have my dark Victorian boots.
Okay, he's going to be...
I mean, I don't know if you can see this, but I put them on. What's it?
Yeah, we can see just a little bit of you. I'm going to direct the camera a little bit more. No, we can't see much. So obviously we're using a button hook as well. But I'm not sure. I think I've packed my stuff. We are in Brighton at the moment for our usual Victorian beach party. But yesterday weather was really, really foul, so we didn't get to wear any suitable evening attire, promenading attire. We did manage to have a picnic and have a dip in the sea before it was too dangerous, because swell was quite impressive.
I believe the local chap called it gnarly.
Yes. So obviously for bathing, the men's attire will be very, very different. I'll put a photo somewhere here so I can admire Lucas in his in his swimming suit. And these would be relatively new here, because until more or less 1860s, men would just wear nothing for bathing. The beaches would have separate area for women and for men, and men just went as they were, saved on the washing, I suppose, and drying after that. But then in the 60s, it was branded as indecent, so men had to wear something. So welcome long, stripy, not only stripy, sort of pyjama-like and tight tricots and woolen suits, which are quite fun to wear actually. And that fashion continued well into the 20th century, similarly like women's suits diminishing with the coverage over the decades. Still raises a couple of eyebrows. Oh wow. I think the trousers may be a little bit too short.
Well, it's not so much they're too short, perhaps I need to adjust my braces slightly.
Okay, I rest assured.
I can just put my hands in my pockets and do that.
And that's fine. put the hat on, and you're almost ready to go out. So we have usual straw bow tie. Hopefully the wind has lessened as of yesterday. It was quite bad, so the water would stay on the head. And sunglasses in case we have a chance to see a little bit of a sun.
Time, I think, for a boating adventure.
Oh, good grief.
Splendid.
Give us a twirl. Right. Big pockets, I think. I quite like blazers for big pockets in the jacket. So I have 1, 2, 3. This whole attire was based on the extant ditto suit in the Victorian Albert Museum. I'll see if I can find a photo to draw into it. And you've already creased the trousers, so we have to steam it a little bit more.
Well, it's going to happen, I'm afraid.
Right.
Press it. Well, we should press on.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining us, and I hope you've enjoyed it. So let's see till next time. Next time for men's garments it will be a winter wear, I suppose, and you are in for quite a surprise. Thank you for watching, guys.